Recently here on my YouTube channel, a lot of people have been asking me the same questions, and it makes me feel like a lot of them are listening to the same outdated advice. In the year 2025, if print-on-demand sellers don't adapt, or if they continue to do things the old way, they will not make sales. I started print-on-demand in 2016, and every single year of running print-on-demand stores, there has always been something that stops working, or something new that you can do that will lead to more sales. And that's exactly what this video is about. I'm going to be breaking down for you all of the outdated strategies that you should leave behind, and I'll also talk through some of the new things that you should be doing. We'll also talk through some of the things that you should be paying attention to if you are starting a new print-on-demand store. If you are just getting started, I do have a free course. It's called POD for Dummies. There is a link down in the description. Inside are over 30 videos showing you how to build your store and get started with social media marketing. Like I said, it is completely free, and there is a link down in the description. In the video, we're going to be using this post and this store as a reference. If you read through here, you can see that someone is posting inside of my print-on-demand Facebook group, basically talking about how they have had over 500 people on the store and they have not made a single sale. If you're watching this video and you are in a similar situation, or if you are afraid of getting into a situation like this, then you are definitely going to want to watch until the end, because I am going to simplify the entire thing for this person. In the meantime, what we're going to do is break down their store, and I'm going to use it to show you some of the outdated things that this store owner is doing. And this here is the store. This is actually the home page of the store. It's submitted inside of the group. One of the first things that we are going to break down is what they are saying right here. It says that they worked on adding a lot more designs to get the number around 75 to 80. If we go to the store and we look at all of the products that they have, we can see that they have a total of 94. A lot of people are still recommending print-on-demand sellers to try and start their store with as many designs as possible. In some cases, people have said that they are trying to get to over 100 designs before they actually launch. As I scroll through this seller's store, I do not see the main problem as a lack of designs. I don't think this seller needs any more. And to think that they have had over 500 people, as they said in their post, on their store, and they're still adding more and more designs without making sales is a problem. The first piece of outdated advice that we're talking about here is that less is more. If anybody is telling print-on-demand sellers that they need to launch their store with 100 or more designs, they're likely talking about a strategy that worked years ago. Or it might only work with certain niches, or for people that are very, very good at making designs. One of the problems here is that when sellers like this are focusing on trying to make as many designs as possible, they stop paying attention to a lot of the things that are actually going to help them to make sales. The first one is actually making unique and detailed designs, not just taking simple clip art and a couple of different words and arranging them from top to bottom on the front of a shirt. These designs here are extremely basic. The store owner is focusing on quantity over quality. If I went to checkout with this shirt here, I would be paying over $30 with shipping, and with extremely simple designs like this, that's never going to sell. And again, this person here is saying that they've got over 500 people to come visit their store and have not made a sale. Again, the problem with trying to make this many designs is it becomes the only thing that the store owner focuses on. They make it their daily mission to try to make 3 or 4 new designs, and at the end of the day, quality ends up suffering. Another thing that ends up suffering is the actual look of the store. This here is the homepage of the store. When you land here, it is basically just product after product after product. When you get to the bottom, the store just ends. There is no effort that has been put in here at all to actually building out a real brand. This kind of ties in a little bit as well to some of the other outdated advice that is out there, mainly saying that you don't need to type much on your store, that you don't need to share many things about who you are or what you're trying to do as a brand. What you should be doing is setting up a homepage that kind of reads like a brochure, sort of like this. There is a mix of products. There's also some mixes of images with text like this here. As we continue to scroll, you will see that they do have some social proof on here. Obviously, if your store is brand new, you're not going to have stuff like this. That's totally fine. What I'm trying to say though is that adding things like this here, or even like this section down below here as well, is what turns your store into a real brand. This store also has placed some frequently asked questions on their homepage. Again, if we contrast that here, we have a store owner who has been putting all of their effort into making as many designs as possible and not actually designing their store. The same thing is true with their product page here. You can see they have not customized any of this because it still says Printify up top right here. here. Recently here on my channel, I made this video here showing you how you can edit that text on your product page, and I show you what I do as well to drive even more sales with that section. The product page should be an extension of your homepage. There is basically nothing here that is branded. There is basically an empty page here. We have nothing down in the footer. We've got some related products. We have a very short and generic product description, and we've got about 7 of the same mock-up of the actual shirt. So again, there's been very little effort actually put into this, and ultimately I am not surprised that the store has not made sales. The next piece of outdated advice centers around the use of AI. Now, obviously AI is a relatively new thing. For the past couple of years, I feel like new developments are coming out every single month, and I also feel like a lot of people have praised AI as the solution for new people to start a store fast. What I'm talking about is stuff like this here. This image, I'm not sure if it's AI or not. It definitely could be. Either way, it is a very generic image, just sort of randomly thrown at the top of the store. As we continue to scroll down, we have a paragraph here that looks like it was written by ChatGPT. If you read through it, it does feel very sort of robotic, like ChatGPT would have written this. At the end of the day, there's really nothing wrong with using ChatGPT to do some of this stuff, but we definitely want to make sure that we are proofreading what it comes up with. Something like this here where it says, join the crew, pack light, live large, and sleep wild reminds me of something that ChatGPT would say. Another thing to keep in mind is that you do not need to mention that you are a print-on-demand store like they did right here. A way that you could say this instead is that you utilize an on-demand production method, which means nothing actually gets produced until it is ordered, and that we do that to keep our costs low and our quality high. The next piece of advice is that doing something like this in general with print on demand is still a good idea. I have talked about so much here on my channel that print on demand is so much bigger than shirts now, and that starting a print on demand store where all you focus on is shirts is not a good approach. In the year 2025 and beyond, branching out to other unique and much more profitable products is going to be the key to success, especially when you are selling in competitive niches like this one here. What you end up with is basically a $32 shirt after the customer has to pay for shipping, and when you're making designs like this, it's just not going to cut it. Many print-on-demand stores like this one here are still selling apparel products, but they have branched into the all-over print shirts or even all-over print hoodies like this over here. I have made several videos here on my channel detailing how these products can truly help t-shirt and hoodie sellers to make even more sales and make more profits because you can price these products higher. Ultimately, in the year 2025, like I said, if you are starting a store and your niche is camping and all you're doing is using generic quotes about camping and you've got some clip arts that show some mountains and some pine trees and a moon and a tent like this here, you're likely not going to make sales. And unfortunately, like I said, this person is sort of finding that out the hard way. They've got over 500 people that have come to their store and they have not made a single sale. If you are brand new to print on demand, or if you are in a similar position to this store owner, I would advise you to think about the things that I am talking about inside of this video. And like I said at the beginning, if you are just getting started, I do have a free print on demand course. Inside of it, I walk you through everything that I talked about in this video, how to start your store, how to actually go into Shopify and customize things, and how to get started with social media marketing. And like I said, it is completely free. There is a link down in the description. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.